What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are again with another video. Today I want to talk about Forticlad 8 buildings. We just got Forticlad released. Well, by the time of this video, I think it's probably a couple weeks that it's been released now. But I did chase rank 1 in the neighboring servers. So we'll take a look at that. We'll see where I placed. There will be some videos at the end of this clip here where, or at the very end of the video, where it's just showing all of the upgrade processes. Before we get too far ahead of ourselves, let me talk about the new giveaway that's going to be starting. We're going to be doing a $1,000 giveaway to a charity of your choice over on my Discord server. Down in the description below, you'll see a link where you can jump over there and click in the giveaway section to be entered in. So click over to the giveaway section, enter the little emoji. We did finish up with the $50 giveaway. So for the guys who missed that, sorry. And for the guys of you who enter into that, sorry if you didn't win. But for the guy who did win, congratulations. I wish you guys all the best of luck on this next giveaway. We'll probably run it for about a month. We'll take a look at exactly see. I haven't decided as of the recording of this video. Maybe I'll have it announced by the time I finish this recording. But great way to help a charity, help a cause that you're passionate about. As you guys know, I mentioned in some of these videos, focus on your family, focus on your health, future, giving to charities, all of those things, and then worry about the game. And this is a way, all you have to do is jump over to the Discord and enter in. You just need to be subscribed to the YouTube and a member of the Discord, and there you go. You get a chance to win, and you can donate $1,000 to a charity of your choice. I will say I am from the United States, so it needs to be one that I can actually donate to. We'll work through the details depending on who wins and where you're from. We'll make sure we get the money to a good cause and a cause of your choice, and ideally a charity specifically of your choice, if it's possible. Now, back to the point of this video. I did try to get rank 1 in the neighboring servers, and if we look here, neighboring servers, prison level, here it is. We were able to get rank 1. Now it's pretty funny here because on day 1 of release, the highest we could get up to was Forticlad 7. And that day, rushed Forticlad 7, took a look at the rankings, and it still said I was Forticlad 5, but it now showed me in first place on the neighboring rankings. Fast forward to the next day, I looked at it, and I was still first place, but Forticlad 7 and first place. Now on the second week, when it reset, hurried up, same thing, rushed to Forticlad 8, got Forticlad 8 unlocked, but at that time, Tommy, who you'll see is in server 185 here, just below me, he was first. I don't remember who was second. It might have been Med Angel, and then I was third. Now it still showed Forticlad 7, but the rankings had changed. So I assumed it was going to be the same as last time, which of those predetermined rankings were going to be the final. So I sent Tommy a message and said, hey, congratulations on rank 1. You were fast, nice job. Maybe he's watching these videos, I'm not sure. But you were pretty quick, so I thought you had it for sure. The next day I got a message, hey, you got rank 1, congratulations. So thank you, Tommy. It was pretty funny how that worked out. Sorry that I ended up getting rank 1, but I'm sure when Forticlad 10 comes out, we'll be racing for that again together. Now going back to the point of this video, looking at Forticlad 8, I'm going to jump back into the prison here. And just so you guys know, I just got the prison level to Forticlad 8. As you can see, all these buildings here, we're still at Forticlad 6, 7. Basically just did the bare minimum to get Forticlad 8. That way we can save up and use the rest during our next SVS. But for those of you, let's call it even mid spenders, I'd say at this point, but low to mid spenders and free to play, what is it to focus on? I think this can be a very confusing part of the game. T11 troops didn't come out too long, and now you have these Forticlad 8 buildings coming out. And as you can see, let's see if I can find real quick here. But these new heroes do have some bonuses, right? Like you got some extra stats and some extra effects once you get to Forticlad 8 shield bearers. And the same thing's true for bombers and shooters. And as you can see here, there's just some other bonuses here as you get to Forticlad 8. So you have these to focus on now, which require upgrading your overall base, let's say, to Forticlad 8. And then you also have the Forticlad lab here with T11s to focus on. Now, I've already gone through T11s, of course, but just for you guys, right, who aren't sure, right, like you have a limited number of Forticlad, and you're like, man, where am I going to put it? Do I want to put these in T11, or do I want to put these in Forticlad 8 buildings? Now, the amount of crystals that it takes to do either are, I would say, for a low spend player, pretty similar. If anything, it may be, if you really stretch out Forticlad 8, it may be cheaper to get Forticlad 8. But I'd say in a short term, T11 would be cheaper. So let me explain why I say that. We jump over to this Forticlad lab, and looks like I haven't done my daily redeems. We'll hit those real quick. Sorry about the delay. But now we jump into this advanced Forticlad. And if you go through here, you have different tiers. Let me see if I can find where these, there they are. You have different tiers, right? You have this 1 through 20, 21 through 40, basically tiers of 20. Now, every time you go up a tier, you do get more, call it drop rate improvement for the higher numbers. So the drop rate improvement's great. However, your best value in this whole probability table are these first. These first 20, sure, it says you only get a 6% chance of 6, for example. But at the end of the day, this is your best value per Forticlad. So as you go up in the tiers, you're actually losing value per Forticlad. Now, I mean, in theory, you could do one a day, right? This 50%, which comes up every single day. And I recommend every single one of you do that at a minimum, just one of these refinements a day. Now that one a day, you could stretch that out, but I don't know how long that's going to take. I mean, that's probably a year or more just to get enough Forticlad to get to F8. So that's not really feasible. Now, technically, it would probably make it less Forticlad than T11, but it's so long that it makes it not really a valid comparison. So for the sake of this video, I'm going to call like a low spend area roughly similar quantity of Forticlad required. Now, I know I might get some hate down there that, hey, it's way different, but the reality is you can get Forticlad 8 like in the way that I'm doing it, which is using a ton of these transformations every week, and it's really bad value, or you can do it a smarter way with a little bit less. Now, we'll talk about that a little bit later in the video, but as of right now, I want to talk about F8. I was digressing a little bit there, sorry. F8 or T11. My recommendation first is T11. Now, let me tell you why. We'll jump over here to this Forticlad lab, and when we jump in here, and you're working your way through T11, right? You look at this first one. Now you're getting expedition capacity. Well, I mean, expedition capacity is great. That means your march has more troops. So you get this leveled up, you have an extra 1,200 troops in every expedition. Now, not only do you get 1,200 troops in your expedition, you jump up here to your bonuses, right? Now, let's say you use the expedition capacity buff. Now, you're also going to get another 11 or 22% on top of that when you activate your buffs for events or whatever it is you're going to do. So this 1,200 quickly turns into 1,400 or 1,600, depending on what event that you're playing or what buffs you're running. So that's the first reason. Now you're also getting all these other buffs, right? 30% lethality. You're getting 30% defense, 30% attack, 30% HP. So 30% across the board and all of that on your stats leveled up. You go to this next one, which is crucial for all of the rally leads out there, right? You get 34,500 rally capacity. And I know for the big whales out there, right, you're all already focusing on this and it's good to go. But for those of you who are still rally leads, I mean, this rally capacity, right, you have 3 of them at T11s and you got another 100,000 rally capacity, which is pretty significant, right? And then, of course, you have the T11 troops unlock. So you're not just getting T11 troops, right? You're getting 30% stat bonus all across the board. You're getting expedition capacity, and you're getting rally capacity. Now, to me, that provides a lot better value when you look at the two troops side by side. Take a look here, right? This is all your bonuses that you get once you're completely maxed out. I mean, you can also go up here, right, and get these training cost reductions and the HP increases. Honestly, I would stop at the T11s here, right? I mean, HP and lethality are great, but I'd probably just cut it off at the T11s and then start focusing your Forticlad on FC8 at that point. But I mean, to get to T11s, like I said, these bonuses are great. I would focus here first and then start working your way up to FC8. At least for me, what I would rather see in the rally even is T11 FC5 than FC8. That's what I think is going to be the best. Now we'll do some testing here coming up in the upcoming SVSs and events, and we'll go from there. Now, let's talk about getting to Forticlad 8, right? Once you do get there, you unlock these advanced reformations. You get this advanced Forticlad core. What's this all about? Where should I focus? Maybe it's overwhelming, but let's talk about strategy here. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the minimum that you can do, or the minimum that you should do, even when I say focus on T11, still, when I say minimum, it's a minimum every day. Do the 50% off gift every day. So that is required. Now, maybe you don't go any more than that. You just do that one transformation every day. That's okay. But just make sure you're doing that, because that is your absolute best bang for your buck, if you want to call it, your best use of Forticlad when it comes to transforming. So minimum, do that. Now, if you're going to do anything more than that, the last thing you want to do is call it day one, you do 10 exchanges or 10 transformations, right? And then you get up to a number like 10, and then the next 6 days, you're doing 50%, 11, 12, 13, 14, right? Because then you're still in tier 1. Let me go back just so we're all on the same page here, right? These are your weekly transformations. When I talk about 10, I'm talking about 1 through 20 here. You're at number 10. Okay, so we're all aligned on that. So what I would do, if you're very limited on Forticlad, you do the minimum, right? Do the minimum 1 per day. You're going to get whatever, somewhere between 2 and 6. I'm guessing your average here is like 2.8, something around there. I'd have to do the math out, but less. It's not too bad. Call it 2.83, something like that. All right, so that's the minimum. If you have enough Forticlad to do more, what you need to do is Monday, right? Reset of the new week. You need to do all 20 on Monday. What that means is all 20 are done on Monday, and then for the rest of the week, the next 6 days, you're getting half off this next tier, right? This 21 to 40. So your next 6 days, you're getting half off these better rates, right? Already here, tier 1, sure, it's cheaper. You get a 50% chance of 2. You jump into this tier 2, and you're up to a 75% chance of 4. I mean, you're already getting significantly more. And then when you cut that into 50%, it's even better, right? So use up to 20, and then the next 6 days, just do 1, right? Do 21, 22, 23, 24, all those transformations. Just do them at this tier. Now, as you can see, I mean, you can do this same practice. Let's say you want to do more Forticlad. Let's say you got, oh man, I got a bunch of Forticlad this week. Okay, fine. Go up, pop off 40 the first day. I don't know what that is. I think it's like 1,400 Forticlad, something like that. But sure, pop off those 1,400 Forticlad, Monday reset, and then once per day, the following 6 days, you're going to do 41, 42, 43, so on and so forth. So that is the way that I'd go about it. Now, if you can find a consistent approach, right, would probably be the best. Maybe you're going to do 20 Monday every week, and then the next 6 days you're doing 21, 22, 23, so on and so forth. That may be your best location, right? Depending on what kind of spender you are. Maybe some weeks you're just doing the 50%, just 1 through 7 at 50%, and that's it, which that's fine. And then maybe you're a little bit higher of a spender and you're going to be popping off 20 every week. And then you're going to do the next 6 days at 50%. Or maybe you're doing 40 every week, whatever that is. As you can see here, what I did this week is I did 80, and then the next ones I'm all doing at 50%. So we can go ahead and do this one here, right? We're at 160 the cost. And now if I want to do one more doing the same thing, it's going to cost me 320. So great value there. And I think overlooked, I think a lot of people make the mistake of, let's say, just doing what they can, and they don't really plan it out. So make sure you're doing that. Make sure day 1 of the week, you're going up to the highest tier you want to go to that week. So if it's up to 20, do 20 and then 50% the next days. And then if you don't have enough for those 20, the last thing you want to do is 10, right? If you only have enough to do 10 transformations, don't even bother this week. Just do 50% all week, no problem. And then the start of the next week, you go ahead and do the 20. And then you get the 50% of the next tier up. Keep that in mind when you're doing these upgrades. I think quite a few people lose some value on their Forticlad in this area. Now, one quick bonus tip here. When you look at the research center, or the Forticlad lab, whatever you want to call this thing. So this Forticlad lab, when you upgrade this thing, it also is upgrading research speed. So let me click on here, upgrade. So we're at 4.3%, and then you get an extra 0.15 per little tier here. Now, I know there's a lot of you guys out there who are looking for as much research speed as you can so you can get through all of the tech and the normal research center. So keep this building in mind when you are doing your upgrades. I wouldn't necessarily prioritize it. However, if you're someone who's really struggling, maybe you give it a couple levels here because you are going to get some extra bonuses on your research speed. With that, I think we pretty much covered everything I wanted to in this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe on the video. As I mentioned, 10,000 subscribers is the goal. Man, we're already over 4,000. It's been going so fast. I think we're at I don't even know if we were at 3,000 when I first set that goal. So pretty crazy how fast things have been growing. Thank you guys so much for the support. Don't forget to jump over to the Discord channel. Link is in the description below. $1,000 giveaway to a charity of your choice. Excellent way to give back to a cause that you enjoy. So go ahead and jump over there, participate in that. And without further ado, you guys are going to see the clips here in just a minute of me leveling this up to Forticlad 8 as fast as I possibly could, racing against all the other guys on our neighboring servers. They all did great. We all got there in a pretty quick amount of time. Great job to the other guys. And thank you so much for all of you supporting, and I'll see you guys in the next one.